Are you being ignored by someone you care about? If so, you know it's one of the most frustrating and difficult situations to deal with, especially when you don't know the reason. That's why in this video, I'm going to share the top reasons why your man is ignoring you, and I'm going to tell you exactly what to do about each of them. Don't go anywhere because we're starting right now. Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Antonio Borrello and I'm a psychologist and a relationship coach. This channel is all about helping you build great relationships so you can grow happy with the people you love. So if you're interested in making your love life the best part of your life, start now by clicking the subscribe button and hit the bell notification so you aren't missing anything. Okay, on to our topic. Why is your man ignoring you and how do you turn things around? And I'm also going to tell you the things you absolutely must not do when he ignores you, because doing these things will simply make your situation worse. So make sure you stick around to get those last tips. They are super important. I need to make an important distinction about being ignored. Sometimes you know why a person is ignoring you. Perhaps there was an argument, a disappointment, or a disagreement, and now a person is intentionally ignoring you as a form of punishment or manipulation. In this case, you know what caused him to change. He's upset and intentionally ignoring you. But other times, you have no idea why a man is ignoring you, and that makes you feel very anxious. It leaves you in the dark trying to figure out what happened. It makes you question everything. So I want to start with the situations where you don't know why first, because they're the most difficult to deal with. So without further ado, here's number one. Maybe he's not alone. Okay, let's just get this first one out of the way. Some people put their phones away when they are visiting with family or friends, or when they are working closely with a colleague. And if that's the case, he probably does the same thing when he's with you. But if he is a person who is constantly taking calls and texts, even when you're together, then you might question his motives for ignoring your calls or texts. Is he ignoring you because he is with someone that he's hiding from you? Let me give you an example. A woman I know was cheating on her boyfriend. And whenever she was spending time with her boyfriend, she would block the other guy's number on her phone. That way, she wouldn't risk a text or call coming through and having to explain to her boyfriend. And when she was with the other guy, she temporarily blocked her boyfriend's number. She basically ignored the other person until she was once again alone. And sometimes that was hours, but sometimes that was days. Now, if this is the first time it's happened, you shouldn't jump to any conclusions. Just pay attention to his explanation when he comes around. Does he come up with some elaborate story or explanation? Or is his explanation much more mundane? If he's ignoring you because he is with another woman, you're bound to see this pattern happening more than once. Number two, he's ghosting you or fading you out. Oftentimes, someone you're dating becomes distant and unresponsive because they're afraid of the confrontation of breaking up with you. They would rather fade out of a relationship than end it properly. So if he no longer initiates communication and is very slow to respond to you with 1 or 2 word answers, then he's using ignoring you as a breakup method. He's hoping that you'll eventually get fed up of being ignored and end the relationship yourself. Or you'll just stop trying and the relationship will fizzle out without any kind of confrontation. So, what can you do in this situation? Well, instead of being strung along, tell him this. If this isn't working out for you, I understand. I just need to know so I can move on without any doubt or hesitation. Then, if he wants to break up, you've given him the opportunity. And if he doesn't want to break up, it gives you an opportunity to communicate your needs and expectations for the relationship. And FYI, being ignored is incredibly difficult to handle and often makes you feel like you're in a panic mode. And here's why. Being ignored forces you to deal with uncertainty and ambiguity. And your brain does not like uncertainty or ambiguity, especially when you can imagine scenarios in which you are threatened or fearing a loss. I've talked about this before. Being ignored activates a threat response in the amygdala, the part of the brain responsible for processing emotional reactions and threat responses. And it's so difficult to handle because that part of our brain can't separate physical threats like someone coming at you with a knife from silly threats like someone not responding to your text message. So when you're being ignored, it makes you feel almost like you're panicking because it's triggering the same part of your brain. Number 3, he's playing games or he's just not into you. I've grouped these two together because you confront and resolve them the same way. So let's start with the possibility that he's playing mind games. This is often the case when you have no idea what happened or why he's ignoring you. See, at the beginning of a relationship, a man may believe he has to play hard to get in order to sustain your interest and get you wanting him more. This kind of behavior is a powerful form of manipulation that sadly can be very effective because it works. He purposefully ignores you or takes longer and longer to respond to you because he wants you to experience that uncertain, panicked response so that you'll be more receptive to him when he does reply. The second part of this, perhaps he's just not into you. This can be a difficult truth to accept. We often choose to believe that someone is just busy or naturally bad at texting, which is why they are ignoring us or so inconsistently responding. But trust me when I tell you this, no one is that busy. No one is too busy to text you good morning or to check on you. It takes 30 seconds. If you are important and a high priority, he will find the time or he will make the time for you. Period. If he doesn't, either he's just not that into you or he's just not ready to be serious about anyone because he is focused on achieving whatever he's doing and he's prioritizing those things over everything else. So what do? Well, you call him out on this behavior. You can say something like this. You've seemed really distant the past couple of days. You haven't been calling or texting and it takes you hours and days to respond to my message with 1 or 2 words. What's going on? Are you okay? That lets him know that you've noticed a change in his behavior and it gives him an opportunity to explain while giving you the chance to set the expectations for your relationship. And not in a complaining way, but in a way where you convey the message that this isn't what you signed up for. So either this is the real him or the guy he was before is the real him. And either that guy comes back or you're out. And don't be surprised if he tries to deny what you're experiencing. And if he does deny it, you've still put him on notice that you expect more. Number 4, he is punishing you. Intentionally ignoring someone as a form of punishment and manipulation is the most common pattern of conflict in a committed relationship. It's also one of the most damaging. Perhaps there was an argument, or maybe he was disappointed about something and is motivated by revenge. So he resorts to ignoring you because he wants you to feel the pain that uncertainty provokes. But regardless of his reasoning, being ignored is incredibly frustrating and not a healthy way to solve a dispute. And the silent treatment is tremendously damaging to a relationship. It decreases relationship satisfaction for both partners. It diminishes feelings of intimacy and it reduces the capacity to communicate in a way that's healthy and meaningful. So, how should you deal with this? Well, do your best to find out what's wrong. Do not give him the silent treatment back. If one or both of you need space, well, establish that. And since communication is often the issue, try to discuss and understand the situation. But if your attempts to communicate go unanswered after a day or so, consider sending this message to him. Hey, I see you're not responding to me. I'm not sure why, but I want to understand why you are angry or upset or sad. If you're not ready to talk or if you need space, I understand. The silent treatment is hard for me, so could you let me know? Maybe we can find a time to talk in the next few days. But I can't continue with this relationship if you keep shutting me out. And that's it. No more than that. And often that is enough to get an immediate response and usually provokes a communication within a few days. Nevertheless, your job is done and you must let it go. Trust me, if you've been trying to get him to talk, he will notice when you have stopped. And that's when the tables get turned. Okay, now on to the super important things that you absolutely must not do. Keep watching because if you do these things, you're ruining your chances of making things right again. Number 1, don't keep calling and texting. If there's a legitimate reason why he's not responding as much, over texting or over calling just to get an answer will come off as possessive and insecure and a little crazy. And it's counterproductive. Think about it. If you're constantly texting and calling and begging him to talk to you, how is he feeling? Is he worried about losing you? Is he concerned that maybe his behavior was manipulative? Nope, he's not worried about anything. Though he should be. He should be worrying that you are growing tired of his manipulative behaviors. He should be worried that you are not going to tolerate his bad behavior. But he won't be worried as long as you keep calling and texting. So once you've said your piece, let it go. Number 2, no begging and pleading. Regardless of how much it hurts, you can't beg or plead with a person to talk to you or to stay with you. When you do and when you get rejected, you will only feel more hurt and feel helpless and frustrated. And begging and pleading will make him cringe and feel sorry for you. And if he's ignoring you because he can't handle confrontation, he will definitely continue to ignore you if you beg and plead with him. So don't do it. Number 3, no stalking his social media, Facebook, Instagram, or WhatsApp to find out when he was last online. And I know most of you have done this, but this is really bad for you in so many ways. First, it requires you to spend considerable time and energy thinking about what he's doing. You see him online and then it confirms for you that he's ignoring you. And inevitably, when you bring it up to him as proof that he's ignoring you, you're going to look like a stalker. Trust me, just have patience and keep your head up. He will come around and you'll be glad that you didn't give in to his manipulations. Number 4, don't resort to hurtful insults, name calling, or picking a fight. Of course you're angry, but confrontations or saying something hurtful will be something that you later regret. Don't do it. Again, being ignored is very difficult to deal with, and it's often a manipulative tactic used by abusive people and narcissists. If it's happening, maybe you're dating a narcissist. Click here to watch a video and find out, or click here to watch a video that YouTube thinks that you like. I'll see you in the next video.